Yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hi, James.
So yeah, what I'm going to do is a quick demonstration of the Igloo virtual learning environment and just show you some of the design considerations and things that have to be taken into account when people are going to kind of sell one of these or use one of these. And so what we're looking at here is our Igloo, and I'm doing a presentation. We have a number of cameras up there, and you're looking at a standard webcam. We've explored a few different options. You can get a cheap wide field of view webcam. This is something, though, whilst cheap, you can see the visual quality isn't great. The thing that is much better is this, which is a Panacast. So here you can see that you get the whole field of view. I can go and talk about what's up these stairs here and where they can go. I can go and talk about where this emergency exit goes, or what happens over here on this part of the refinery. The thing is, though, with a really wide field of view, it's great for doing a few things. It lets you kind of see what's going on in the space. So one of the things that could be going on, you can see here, what I can enable is another display back there, and I can see you're all here. So I'm going to just zoom into that. And I can see all the people that have joined the meeting, and I've got eye contact with all of them. So if I zoom that out, you can kind of see that whilst I'm doing my presenting, I actually have everyone up here on the screen, and I can see what's going on. But then I could also go and enable my slides here. So I'm going to just move those over here a bit. So what I can do now is stand in front of my slides and do a presentation. And as I'm presenting and I'm going through these slides, just using the slide clicker to do this, I can look at everyone here and I can look at everyone in the eye. So if I ask a question, can everyone see these slides?
Yeah.
Yes.
I see everyone nodding. So I get a real sense of what's going on in the space. What I can also see up here, you can see there's another little display just here. This is what's called a confidence monitor. So what's going out to you and what you guys are seeing on the other screen. So the reason that it's important to have a confidence monitor, here I can be talking about these slides, and I might be talking about this map here, and you can't see in great detail. You probably can't read what this label says here. So what I can do then, I can do two things. I can either switch to the PTZ camera, and then I could kind of move around, and I could zoom in on those things. And you can see what's going on. And now I can point at Pete pointing at a map. The other thing, though, that we can do, if that wasn't clear enough, I can show you the actual slide. So now you're getting a feed from my laptop. It's what I'm still seeing here. And I can point at this and I can say, oh, I see this here. But because you can't see what I'm doing, it's really important for me to know what feed is going out live. And so that's where that confidence display is. I can see if I look at the confidence display, it's displaying my lecture slides directly. So I can realize that if I'm going to actually go and start pointing at the map, I need to jump back to this. And now I can point here. Oh, and I realize that, look, it's not in field of view. So I might switch to this different camera angle and zoom out. So here you can see that you're opposite me. You're all still on screen. And if we flip around here, I can now start talking about the map again. And so the PTZ camera can be operated with a number of presets. We can do things like, I might know that I'm going to be talking about some details up here, or I might know that I have a dummy or something on the floor. So there might be something that we've laid out here, a medical dummy, a stretcher, or a prop that we're going to be presenting in the conversation. And so if you know ahead of time, those presets mean you can jump around. But the other thing that can be done with this, instead of having these set presets, if you don't want the presenter to think about what's going on, what they can do is have an editor in the space. And so you can have an editor out back, because if you're having to think about what's going on and using the remote like this, you can see the panning is a bit jerky, and I've really got to stop and think about what I'm doing. And so what might be a good thing for a university or someone that wants a nice polished presentation, a broadcast style presentation, is a device like this. And this little joystick here means that I can kind of pan and zoom the camera, move it around in a nice smooth motion. And so it allows the editor to kind of choose the shot. And so if you had something like a TED Talk going on and you had two people in the space, and I might be presenting here, and then I go over here, then having someone control that and have nice smooth pans is going to be important. So yeah. 1 second. So yeah, I might be talking about this part of the oil rig and the evacuation procedures for that. And then all of a sudden, I realize I'm going to relate that back to my health and safety slides over. And so because I know I've had a bit of experience, I can move this around. But for someone that's doing this for the first time, you're going to be better having an editor control that. So some of the other things we can do in the space, what we're going to do now is we're going to show you a live video call. So we're going to jump now to this 1 second. So I jump to this. 1 second.
Zisan, can you mute your microphone?
All right, so what we have now, and we can see on the screen, I'm just gonna move this up there, is a live feed. So I'm gonna just jump to the wide field of view so you guys get a better sense of what's going on. What we have here is a live feed to Pete outside. So he's using the new Igloo remote site visit. And what we have is a direct link with him. So Pete, can you wave?
Hi.
So you can see we've got quite an instant call through to Pete, and he can hear what I'm saying. I can hear what he's saying. I can Pete to walk around the camera.
Yeah, sure.
And could you just point at the Igloo logo?
That one.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is show you guys a bit of a feed out to that. So Pete, could you bring that tripod back inside and I'll meet you in the warehouse?
Yeah, sure.
So what I'm going to do now is show you guys what it is from the lecturer perspective. So 1 sec. So you can see Pete's bringing that in, but I'm going to change this to my camera. And so now you can see the view of the phone. And so here I can see Pete in the warehouse outside. I can see up here my confidence display, which shows the phone camera, so I know what's going on. Here we have the PTZ camera that's been shooting us today, and the wide field of view cameras. And if we go out here, here's Pete, and here you can see Igloo remote site. It's a tripod with a Microsoft Surface on it. And you can see there's a video call. He's seeing what is going out towards us, and a 360 camera on top. So it's quite easy for Pete to pick up and move around. And where he is, we see that back here. So here you can see the warehouse here at Igloo Australia and some of the things in the space. So I'm going to switch back now so that you guys get a bit of a view of this. And so we go back to the wide angle, and you can see the cylinder that we're in over here and what's going on there. You can see whereas our roller doors here, and then we could then maybe have a presentation about those things. So I could jump back to this, jump into my laptop, start to talk through what's going on for that. So yeah, that's some of the things that make up the Igloo immersive learning environment, and Igloo virtual site visit. The things you've got to think about is lighting on people's faces, where that lighting goes and what it enables. And then also where the cameras are mounted and what kind of field of view they're going to get. So here I'm going to go and jump on a preset. You can see we've got the Panacast mounted just below the door and the other two webcams just above it. For smaller cylinders, that's kind of, I think, what's going to happen. But for anything over a 6 meter, we should be able to mount all those cameras up on the truss ring, along with some DMX lighting to provide lighting on people's face, so that in talking over here, you can actually see what's going on. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining. I'm just going to do one last thing. Sorry, 1 second. So bring everyone up again. Going to jump to the wide field of view. Actually, I might just do this one. And so, yeah, thank you all for joining. It's been, yeah, great having you here. Ciao.